Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well, and in this video I'm talking about what more has been said following the intense Mercedes battle over the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. Now during the sprint race and the main race itself, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli went wheel to wheel, lap after lap. It was really intense to watch, and there were times where it looked like they were going to get really close to each other, make contact and take each other out of the Grand Prix, and in fact there was a point where they did make contact in the sprint race. Antonelli tried to go around the outside of Russell going into turn 1, and the two made contact and Antonelli ended up on the grass. Now Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff has indicated that he would be prepared to implement team orders in the future if the security of Mercedes' result was ever threatened by his drivers fighting, and Wolff has now explained when Antonelli and Russell will be placed on watch in F1, with Wolff saying, as quoted by Racing News 365, "We want to look at the pictures and have them come to the right conclusions in terms of saying, do you think that was a level of fighting you think is right? And if it is, why is that? We will say why we think one or two situations could have been avoided and what they want to do to mitigate it. But definitely, the fight is more on than ever. There is so much at stake. When you ask them to tidy it up, it doesn't mean you should be stopping it. You actually allow the racing, but you're saying you are on watch. And we had a few situations that could have ended in DNFs. Now make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my Formula 1 content and are kept up to date with F1 news. I've recently managed to reach 51,000 subscribers, and all your support means so much to me. Thank you so much for it. Now going back to Wolff, and it's clear he wants to let his drivers race, fight it out for the title. At the same time though, he's hinted that if the race result is at risk because his two drivers are fighting really hard, they will be placed on watch, and if things are going too far, then Wolff may implement team orders. Now if you go back a decade at Mercedes, you had a similar situation between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, with them fighting for the title at the team between 2014 and 2016, and things became particularly tense in 2016. And at the Barcelona Grand Prix in 2016, the most dramatic incident of Rosberg and Hamilton's time as teammates took place, with the pair crashing out on the opening lap. Now the crash between Rosberg and Hamilton saw Mercedes' control over the duo hit rock bottom, with Rosberg having since revealed that Wolff held discussions with then Mercedes chief Dieter Zetsche and asked if Wolff considered firing his two drivers. Rosberg said on the High Performance podcast, as quoted by Racing News 365, "It never came to being fired, no, but I know he actually had internal discussions with the big boss about taking a step. I don't think it was about being fired, it was probably a suspension or something that would have been a first step for a race. Yeah, something like that. So there was actually that conversation behind closed doors. It never came to us, but that's pretty crazy." So yeah, based on that, it looks like Wolff is not afraid to consider the extreme. Do I think he would implement that for Russell or Antonelli if something were to happen? No. And at the same time, I don't think it will come to that. I think Mercedes have learned from what happened between Hamilton and Rosberg all those years ago and won't let it happen again between Russell and Antonelli. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care.